Hello, welcome to the channel. It's great to see you. I'm on a fish farm today and it's quite unusual for me because I'm in the north part of the country in the eastern region in Soroti. So there's fruits, there's lemons, these are some orange trees around. It's very, very beautiful. But we're here for fish farming. There's about 10 ponds over together, 6 of these bigger ones that you can see behind me. They're about 15 by 30 meters. And this is fish farming here, and there's some real things that can be done to improve this location. So let's jump straight into that, shall we? So the first thing you're going to need to do to improve a farm like this is sort out your weeds. Now, Tito over there is one of the farmers. And the reason we're here is because we're thinking about potentially, well, we are going to be doing some new hubs in Uganda, which is very exciting. We've been trying to do this for years now, and we finally secured the necessary funds with some partners to be able to do that. So we're sort of scouting out locations. You've seen some of the people already. Philip's over there. We went to visit his farm before. And this is the Soroti region in the eastern part of the country. So we're looking at a hub here. So anyway, back to the content on how to improve these beautiful ponds. I mean, they are wonderful. Like, you've got the oranges there, you've got pawpaw in between. Beautiful scenery. Now, these lily pads, Tito was telling me he planted them deliberately, actually, because he wants to give the fish some shade. And he's not wrong. I mean, it's like 36 degrees now, and it's about 5 p.m. and it's hot, ring hot. Actually, it's not 30. I think it's like 6 degrees earlier, but it's maybe around 30 now, so it's very hot. So I can understand why you'd want to put shade for your fish. But actually, with tilapia, the challenge you're going to have with this is, one, this is going to take any nutrition out of the water, so it stops the water going green. So you can see it's brown. And then the tilapia can't naturally feed on anything in the water, so that's one problem. And then the second problem with this amount of shading is that when you come to harvest your fish, all of this needs to be pulled up by the roots to be able to get the net through the water, and that's going to be really a challenging issue. So these fish, there's about 4,000 tilapia he stocked. He put these in, they've been there for about 8 months now, and you can see, look how dense this is. So that's one of the issues, I would say, with this system. The second improvement I would mention is just on fertilisation. The cost of feed is just very expensive, and we all know that. If you're a fish farmer, you're paying, if you're buying at shillings, you're paying about 5,000 a kilo for feed pellets once you factor in transport, which is about $1.50. And then the fish is you're trying to sell your fish. He's getting very low prices of around that, actually, for his fish. So, 1 kilo of feed is going to cost you the same as producing a kilo of fish. But of course, you need more than a kilo of fish, more than a kilo of feed to make a kilo of fish. And then, of course, you've got mortalities and things like that. So it's not possible to just use pellets. But the thing about ponds is you can fertilise. And these ponds, with all the, I'm not sure what this plant is, like some sort of lily, all of that is stopping the green growth, the algal growth, and there's no fertilisation. So that's sort of this big number 2 thing you can do, is to improve his growth rate of fish, is to fertilise his ponds. And then the third thing I would suggest to him is sorting out the market. Getting 5,000 for your fish is just so low. It's like almost, it's just painfully low for an amount of work that's gone into this. So you need to address that. So either you go for a no feed strategy just with fertilizer and you get what you harvest, or you sort out your market and you connect with some buyers, or you find alternative vending routes. I don't know, it's hard, to be honest, with a farmer. And that's the third point, is that improvement. It's not really always possible for farmers, and that's exactly why we're setting up hubs, is because we believe that we have the solution for farmers. Like, we've got 5 things that they need. One of them is market, and we actually pay our farmers 8,000 shillings a kilo, which is double what he's getting, and we can still make a profit and the consumer gets fish that they can afford. So all in all, it's a much better system. So the market one, the third improvement he can make, it's very hard. I'm not quite sure how he would do that. The fourth thing he could work on is the seed part. So he was telling us that he's got mixed sex tilapia in here, so male and female fish, which on paper sounds great, because when you're farming with other livestock, you can produce your own livestock, right? We all know how biology works, but the problem with fish is they'll rapidly reproduce with no predation, and then you end up with so many fish in a pond that there isn't any resources for them to get bigger. And then what you end up with, just lots and lots of tiny little fish, you know, even too small for us to sell, although there is a fish protein powder that we are looking at. Anyway, that's a side story. The point is, it's very tricky for you to sell your fish. So we always recommend mixed, not using mixed sex, but sex reversed. And what you're doing is you're using a natural mechanism that fish have, where they're genetically plastic. And basically you want just all male fish. There's two reasons for that. One, they're not reproducing, so you're not having all these extra fish being produced and then there's competition. But the second thing is that males grow faster than females because they're focusing on muscle and not on producing eggs. So that's be the fourth thing I would recommend, is just making sure that you're producing male fish and getting mixed, male fish as much as you possibly can. I hope you've enjoyed that. That's me leaving Tito's farm, just walking there in the front. It's a beautiful place. The sun is setting. It's always the best, one of the start of the day, end of the day. They're always so beautiful, aren't they? So it's been very pleasant for us. I hope you've enjoyed this. Like and subscribe. There's more content coming of this trip, and stay tuned for more visits